Lethal Company has a lot of deadly entities. With its diverse cast of enemies that both act and react differently towards the player, it is essential for employees to learn about these creatures in order to proficiently collect scrap. And in this video today, we will be going over everything we need to know about one of the most iconic critters in the game, the Hoarding Bug. Commonly encountered on almost every moon in the game, it's hard not to have met this little scrap-carrying entity running about, even on your first few attempts. These bugs possess two giant bloodshot eyes along with a pair of thin but disproportionately long legs that are attached to a jelly bean-shaped body with two antennas extending from their heads. While roaming around the map, their legs would retract, which shrinks their entire height quite significantly, resulting in them looking tiny and unintimidating. Additionally, they possess a pair of wings, but only ever use them when they feel threatened. Now, let's talk about their behavior. The hoarding bug's behavior is relatively simple. Once they spawn, they will roam around the map erratically, looking for any uncollected scrap to bring back to a predetermined nest randomly selected by the game. Aside from scrap, tools that the player drop are also at risk of being taken away by them, as well as the corpses of employees. If a player gets close to their nest, the bug will stand there idly, staring at the player, blocking the way, as if to protect their treasure hoard. They're passive towards the player, but getting too close to them or taking away their scrap would cause them to go into attack mode, where they will extend their legs and start flying towards the player, dealing a decent amount of damage on impact, which means to access their treasure hoard, one would need to confront them head on. Since we've now understood their behavior, let's talk about how to deal with them. The strategy is very straightforward. You just need to simply ignore them and let them do their thing. They're incredibly easy to avoid, so they will be passive and harmless enemies most of the time. Because of this, it is advisable not to waste any time and resources to kill them outright. They also fill an enemy slot, which can prevent more dangerous entities to spawn. So, for example, instead of a nutcracker, which take up as many enemy slots as a hoarding bug, you now have a docile little entity just roaming around doing nothing. Furthermore, the player can exploit their ability to collect scrap that otherwise cannot be reached. One needs to simply wait for a bug to collect a bunch of scrap, follow it as it returns scrap to its nest, then kill it to steal all the valuables. These bugs are weak. The player can outrun them easily, and they are susceptible to the zap gun as well as the shovel. Just 2 shovel hits can kill them, so keeping them alive for easy scrap is a viable strategy. However, sometimes they share their nest with other hoarding bugs, which can complicate confrontations. If there are more hoarding bugs than there are players, stun grenades will be needed to avoid employee casualties. Otherwise, it's best to leave them be. That's pretty much it about the hoarding bug. Hopefully everybody now know how to properly deal with or rather treat them from now on. And to sum it up, the bestiary entry reads, hoarding bugs are large, social insects. While often found living alone, they have been found to share their nests with members of their own species. They measure up to a height of 3 feet on average, with bulbous bodies. The thinness of their fluid and blood and the material of their carapaces contributes to their low weight, making them capable of flight with their membranous wings. It also makes their bodies somewhat transparent. Hoarding bugs were given their name due to their territorial nature. Once they have chosen a place as their nest, they will seek to adorn it with any object they can find and will protect these objects as a part of the nest. Hoarding bugs are not so dangerous alone as they are in large hives. However, if left alone, hoarding bugs are surprisingly neutral and pose little danger. Hoarding bugs will attack if you get too close for too long.